What does it say over here? The Chetchil goes Erenes of Mala Makam Acholol. We'll just start, we'll see it inside, so we shouldn't get as there's Erenes of Mala Makam Acholol. And there's in this area, since the Erenes of is Ein Sof Amitis, V'meili is Keil Al Inyan. Yeah, there's an Ein Beishum Teir Bagbolis. So there's the Era Bligvol, there's the Era Gvul. But Ava became, Lifnet Simsum, Mishas the Era Bligvol at Mergeven. There was no Nisin Asmakim to the Era Gvul. Yeah? I'm saying, what's the pshat? What's the pshat that Erin Sof, that Legabi Erin Sof, since there's Ef Shalem Veshum Teir and Veshum Agbolis, V'meile Yasai Era Gvul and Sai Era Bligvol. And Ava became, Mishas at Mergeven the Era Gvul is not Nirgash. What's Behergash the Era Bligvol? What I'm saying is the Era Bligvol and the Era Gvul are takatu afachim. It's not the pshat you have, say a person has Sai Seichel and Sai Midas. Seichel is not a stira to Midas. There's Keach HaSeichel is a Keach Prati, and there's Midas. Here, the Era Bligvol, mitzad the Era Bligvol, loy hayam makom l'midas elm. Mitzad the Era Bligvol, there's no ness in asagim to elm. It means, on one hand, the Eibusher is Ein Sof, and mitzad the fact that it's Ein Sof, there's no ness in asagim to any other mitzvahs. Ein makom l'midas elm. Afa became, because the Eibusher is not mugdar at all, so he also has an opposite in you. That he does have an air which is Nesa Makom Leilamis. It's not that the air Nesa Makom Leilamis is that the Era Bligvol is not so Shel Leilamis, and he also gives space for an Era Gvol. Mitzad the Era Bligvol brings the reis, the Nekuda, the Remus of Alakos, Vilagabi, and Sof. There's no Nesa Makom Tani Mitzis. And Afa became, the Eibusher is not mugdar that he has to only be in a Eifin of Shlilas HaMitzis. As Echet Kel Adam Ineh, that he can be in Hizgal in Mitzis. Not because the Hizgal is in Mitzis, not because the Era Bligvol is as Ashat Era Bligvol, which is Nesan Makam Mitzis. Yeah, that's a big difference. You have one way you say that the reason why you have a Rav Godel from Niflamayid, so he's able to explain himself also to Talmud Gadol. So why is he able to explain himself also to Talmud Gadol? Because his greatness is not so great. He also can relate to lower Talmud. Here we're saying from the point of view of his greatness, he shalei be'erach klal legabe Talmud Gadol. Because he's amitis Ein Sof, so it's not shaykh to be magbalim, that he has to be dafkin a tnua of shlilas hamitzis. He's tachas hashlemus. Ebervil can, so because he's Ein Sof, he could also be an eifin of Era Gvul. But it's not. But the Era Bligvol is shalei is shayla legamri the mitzis. You understand that too? It's two afachim really. It's not the pshat that the Era Bligvol is a samistart which is not so shayla mitzis. And is also Era Gvul. You heard the meaning. I'm saying the Era Bligvol is an eifin that there's mitzad the hizgalus Ein Sof velakus. There's loy hayamakam mitzis elamis. And biyachad imzeh, since the Eibusher is not mugbal in any ein beishum teir and vagbalas, but mainly if there's a mile that a lukus should also be meir imitzis, so he has that mile too. So he has the mile sabligvul betachlis. The mile sabligvul betachlis is the mitzad the his galus ha'er, mitzad the bligvul v'lukus. There's no ness in the song from mitzis. It's not the pshat that the bligvul is bagbala. The bligvul is betachlis hashlemus. Biyachad imzeh, because why is the Eibusher bligvul? Because he's not mugbal at all. So the bligvul is not an eifin that is not that there can't be gvul. Can eich zayn gvul. But in hergish, these inyanim are two afachim. Mitzad the Era Bligvul is nirgash at the loy hayamakom l'midas elements, and memela it's not nirgash over the din of Era Gvul that there could be space for elements. But it's two opposite inyanim. The Era Gvul is nizgal through tzimtzum. So we have the Era Bligvul, which the Gabi the Era Bligvul, that the Era Bligvul brings out this tnu and elokus, which the Gabi elokus is muvdal, and the Gabi him the homitzis elements is kolachshiv. Then mitzad that tzimtzum, so there's a kaviyachol elokus can come back bal and can come the fi erech homitzis elements. And there it's not nirgash the Era Bligvul. If it's nirgash the Era Bligvul achar at tzimtzum, so then it's in the hergish in mitzias. These are two opposite tnus. Mitzad amitis inyan, because the Eibusher is tachas Ein Sof, so he's not mugder. And he has both shleimus. You know, saying in hergish advarim, the Era Bligvul is a zavsert area which mitzad in yonei is sheilol the inyan elemis. And mitzad Era Gvul is in the svakim teilus. And I just want to touch off. What does the Rabbi say? That so you have the Era Bligvul. In the Era Bligvul is given at tzimtzum, and he's now in a tnu of his almus. Mitzad this almus Era Bligvul, there's a Era hanesin welcome leimus. There's Era Gvul. So what's the leishan nisi? Lamer zenacham the leishan nisi. Well, just to know what's the handles the chabis. So mizamat has no shkas mediva leishan nisi. V'chein ato shlin v'elam ato shlin v'elam. Mechurah is a shinui. In at tzimtzum. Achar kach v'riyah seilamis. Mechurah is shinui. So there's two shinui that Rebbe mentions. The etzim in at tzimtzum. The chatchila the air was an eifin of gili. Now the air is an eifin of tzimtzum. That's a shinui. And then la'achre at tzimtzum. There's the riba elamis, and the air is nimshach an eifin of riba shinui. That's already the shinui in Era Gvul. The etzem in that tzimtzum is a shinui in the Eira Bligvul. Lifnei tzimtzum the Eira Bligvul mer given begoli. La'achar tzimtzum is v'yisalmus. So the tzimtzum is l'chora shinui legabe the Eira Bligvul. And then legabe the Eira ha'kav ha'kotzer, which is nimshach la'achar tzimtzum, he's nimshach an eilumis be'ifim prati. The shinuyim legabe which darga eilumis. So there's shinuyim mitzad in mitzias eilumis. So what does he say? And thus Dr. Shari Yichod l'chora in movanechem l'shanisi. That כשיש שינוי, so l'chora is a shinui machas that seals it, but it's a shinui lifnei tzimtzum. So what's answer? Metaretz. So he says like this: Kivan shanoyim shahayet tzimtzum. Tzimtzum means that hamshach shel acheret tzimtzum is shalei be'erakla legabi the shinui lifnei tzimtzum. So what's hatman therefore? So the shinuyim which are in the Eira Gvul is not pe'el shinui in the Eira Bligvul. That's hatman from their word. When you say that the Eira Gvul is shalei be'erakla legabi the Eira Bligvul, so when made the shinuyim was tu and zechap in the Eira Gvul aren't pe'el shinui in the Eira Bligvul, because the gabi the Eira Bligvul the mitzias hagvul has not tfisas makam at all. Shalei be'erach. Yeah, that's verstanden. Huh?
The first question.
1 second. Then what's the first question? The Eira Bligvul was a tzimtzum the Eira Bligvul. Okay, it doesn't bother. I'm saying that's the. Huh? Oh, then he's missing another thing. And legabia etzem, the fact it was a tzimtzum and Eira not a shinui. The shaila that the Eira l'chatchil was begil, in now the Eira is behelim. That's not a shinui legabia etzem, because the whole inyan agili is audible about legabia etzem. The whole inyan agili is kolachshiv has not tfisas makom klal legabia etzem. The etzem is moved to legami from there. Legabia etzem, the whole shaila of tzimtzum heipzach l'shtam. Once we understand the musig of ha'arda b'vad, so the Eir sh'animshach ha'idei tzimtzum, legabe the Eir sh'lifnei tzimtzum is ha'arda b'vad. So the shinuyim in the Eira Gvul is not pe'el shinui klal in the Eira Bligvul. Al derech zeh, the fact that it was a shinui in the Eira Bligvul is not a shinui legabe the etzem. So thus, in the Seder basically, I'm just saying it says what does it say? Harim shayin etzem b'frat tzimtzum rishon she'isilav g'dil. L'kshnas chol v'achar g'im shel ha'kav kotzer. וגם בדרגה שלפני זה, הרי היה צמצום רק בעיר ועור, אשר מזה מובן איך שאין זה פועל שום שינוי בעני בעצמוס. So there's one beer in Leisha Nisi, because the shinuyim are on a lower darga, which the Gabi, the Elyon, that lower darga has no tfisas makam at all. Shinui shaykh to say, if there's let's say the shinuyim in the Eira Gvul. But Shinui shaykh to say, there's kamei fanim how the Eira Gvul is nimshach. So when it's shaykh to say Shinui in the Elyon, if the hashpa has a tfisas makim, has a erech, has a yachas the Gabi the Elyon, then the shinuyim of the shinuyim of the shefa, the shinuyim of the hashpa are al karcha chashinui in the Elyon. Ashink when he said the hashpa has no erech the Gabi the Elyon, so there's no shaykh of shinisi. So mele so we have kamishinuyim. The etzem in the bria seilumis. And Amshachas v'derech Gvul, so that is Leishanis in the Gabi the Eira Bligvul too, because Shlei Be'erakla. Now the etzem in tzimtzum, that's the Rebbe Hipzachon. The etzem in tzimtzum l'chor is a shinui. So that's not a shinui. The fact that it was a tzimtzum, the Tmura said the Eira is begili, is not behelim. That's not a shinui the Gabi the etzem, because the Gabi the etzem, the whole in her Eira is audible bad. Say I'm verstehen, but as a. So what I'm saying is we have one beer why Leishanisi is because the shinuyim have no tfisas makim legabe the Elyon. That explains side the shinuyim of Eira Gvul legabe the Eira Bligvul, and side they're saying the shinuyim of Bria Seilmes, and side the shinui of Tzimtzum, which is in the Eir L'umas Te'etzem. Because the Metzias Hatachtan has with his makam legabe the Eira. That's l'chor the. Does stay the l'chor, no? Yeah. Then he's mavar more. Huh?
That's not saying the Eira Bligvul to the Etzem is not about Tzimtzum, just.
Mitzad the heart of Avad. L'chor has it.
Therefore,
so v'gam b'darga shelifnei zeh tzimtzum like ba'er, and Eir is only and with us Eir va'or. Hashem is a move on. Eshein zeh polshim shinui ba'ani ba'atzmus.
So why is that different with tzimtzum?
The same beer that we say. How does it end for tzimtzum?
Tzimtzum means that it's shlei barach in yatzin, so I just apply that to Eir being hard.
You're saying was falt das rein though?
Yeah.
We say that the Eir is be'audible vad. You're saying what's the hamshach ha'inyan? That's what I'm understanding. I'm saying but the beer is one that could be beer.
The question is that since we heard the shinui, so since we understand only audible, since other shinui.
So if one beer is because audible vad, not the audible vad. Audible vad explains two pratim. Side the Eir legabe etzem and side the Eira Gvul legabe the Eira Bligvul. Yeah, but the question is a little bit.
Word of being ha'ara is because tzimtzum is total. Because Because with the tzimtzum it has no erech at all afterwards. So something.
That's the Gabi the Eir Ablikvul. And al derech
It's
zeh,
not about the tzimtzum, just about it being.
since Eir is audible bad, so the tzimtzum of the Eir is not Pelashini, that's it. There's a tzimtzum in there, but the Eir is audible bad. He's saying why there is.
What's about the tzimtzum?
He's saying, like, this prat is the Chorah not negating in that tzimtzum.
He didn't say tzimtzum, it's not. He's saying
Verstehe,
it's not a
verstehe.
shine.
Huh?
There's two different shinui they were trying to explain. We're not pale nani. The shinui of the article and the shinui of the tzimtzum.
You're saying this, the Rebbe is all speaking the Gabi the Ani Mamish.
It's both to explain why it's bad.
But once you say that the Eir is audible bad, you don't need to explain. If the whole Eir is audible bad, so the Mele, the what does he say in Shari Yichud? The Gabi this Indian doesn't have a fire to the two Inyanim in Shari Yichud. It's not Izgeshesh, just two Inyanim in Shari Yichud.
I'm saying it's fun to say that in this paragraph that I was going into to explain that the or Gvul Gabi aren't safe. That's the next paragraph. No? The next paragraph is to explain why there's no shinui Gabi aren't safe.
No, why the Chorah, not that Shinui. Why the Chorah the Eir Ablikvul is a tzimtzum. Not why there's no Shinui the Eir Gvul Gabi the Eir Ablikvul. The Eir Gvul Gabi the Eir Gvul because there's no Tfisa Smakim. What I'm saying is, I think here is one beer in Leishanisi. One beer in Leishanisi is the fact that the Tachton is not Tfisa Smakim the Gabi the Elyon. That's inspired at the Inyan Tzimtzum the Gabi the Eir Ablikvul. And that's Bechlal, the whole beard of Eir, the Gabi Etzim. The Nekud is, what's the beard of Leishanisi? Leishanisi is, I lechura the Shinuim, but the Shinuim are in a darga which have no Sisa Smakim the Gabi Elyon. So that's one beard of Leishanisi. Saying, and we'll see why it's Negel the Didan, but what's Negel the Hemshchamayim. But the first beard of Leishanisi is that Legabe the Elyon, the Tachten and all the Zagbalas have no Sisa Smakim Klal. So let's say Gili has a certain Agbala, and B'meile, and there's Tzimtzum. But that Inyan, the whole Geder Agilui, is not a Metzias, the Gabi Etzim. It's Kolosh of the Gabi Etzim. B'meile, the fact that there's a Tzimtzum in the air is not Mashana the Etzim. Oh, there's the Shinuim in the Eir Agvul. The Shinuim in the Eir Agvul are not a stir the Gabi the Eir Ablikvul. Because the Gabi the Eir Ablikvul, the Eir Agvul is not Tevis Makim. That's the import. So it's the same Nekud of Leishanisi. The Nekud of Leishanisi is the Heder Tfisa Smakim of the Shinuim the Gabi Etzim. And das steht dort in Shari Yichud. Shari Yichud, he says that all the Shinuim are only La'achar Tzimtzum. It's not Mishane, the Matzah, the way it is, Lifnei Tzimtzum. So what's the word? The word is that the Shinuim are Shalei Be'erech, or the Darga, which they're the Shinuim, is Shalei Be'erech Klal the Gabi Etzim. Now the Rebbe is saying something, another word. Now you need a new beer. The Gabi the Eir Ablikvul. So the Shinuim of the Eir Agvul aren't Mishane the Eir Ablikvul. But the Chorah is that Tzimtzum the Eir Ablikvul. That's good for the Shinuim. The Chatchila the Eir Ablikvul is an Eifin of Gili, and now is an Eifin of Tzimtzum. That's the Chorah of Shinuim. Does Bertish for entering the word is for you. The Etzim word that the Shinuim of the Eir Agvul, that we were Mataris already. But the Chorah, the Etzim fact was that the Chatchila the Eir Ablikvul was Begili, and now the Eir Ablikvul is B'Tzimtzum. That's the Chorah of Shinuim. Septem Lek Tetzunach HaBir. This you need another beer. Achar Kach Mavar Yes B'Shar Yichud Sham, Shigam Ba'er in Pel Shem Shinuim. Hagam Sheba'er Haya Tzimtzum. Question number one. So the Chorah the Eir, that's Shinuim. Lechatchila the Eir was in a Tnu of Gili, and now the Eir is in a Tnu of Helen.
That's usually a problem to say there's a shinui very cold.
We're just saying, Gili versus Helen is a Shinui Chitzeni Ma'id. We're just saying, it's not the way we learn by us the Musik of Helen, that the air retracted at a different place. So it's Emes HaShinui. I'm saying before, it's also not a real Shinui. I'm saying, Hashem is the Mashal. Let's say the light, the air was mispashed in this room, and then someone put a kisei on the window, and the air is not mispashed in this room. We say it's a change, because the air was in this room, and now the air is in a different place. It's not a real shinui, because the air, its energy didn't become smaller. The air has the ability to be made in this room. It's technical that it's not made in this room. The shinui, if you're talking about an inyan which is blik vol, and for whatever reason it is, mitzad its tchunis, it could be made everywhere. And blepoil, it's for some reason it's not being actualized. It's not a real shinui. When you speak about shefa dvarim mukbalim, so then that's a real shinui. If the seichel is not made believe, that's akbal in seichel. You say the Rav understands the seichel in his mayach. So the seichel now is in an edel. And in order for it to come to a lower place, you have to lower it down. You don't have to lower the inyan in order for it to be made everywhere. The way it is can be made everywhere. L'payil mamash is not made. So l'payil mamash is not made is not going to be a real change, a real shinui. The mitzad atzmei stays blikvol. And when you open up the curtain, you let it be made inside. Nothing was added to the air. The air stayed ein sof. L'payil, it wasn't actualized the potential that it has. Nothing changed. Mashiach by a davar mugbal, if the seichel is nishar and atzilus, the air is nishar and atzilus, let's say. So atzilus is too edel than being nimshach in a lower elam. So then, when it's misamsim nimshach in a lower elam, or it's not nimshach, there's a shin in the gufeini. Now is in a version of asiya, and now it's in a higher version. The air abligvul, or air, the Rebbe is talking about air which is mitzad atzmi, because they meir b'kol makim, there's no real shinui. I'm saying there's no, the air is bligvul, but etzim kener meir zem b'kol makim. The pel mamish is not meir.
But also in the Kabbalah,
No, I'm saying before that. I'm saying the shinui is not a regular shinui. I'm just saying number one. Number two is be'etzim the tzimtzum is a hell. It's not the pshat that the air leaves the makom hamakav. The air is present. He's not nirgash. However we understand what the musik of hell means, but it's not the pshat that the air is doesn't exist anymore in this room. The air, the etzim is b'kol makim. The air is b'kol makim. Sachakel, the air is not an aifin that the makabel is margish. So it's not. It doesn't retract. Really. It's an aifin that the makabel is not aware of it. It's a shinui chitzeni legamri.
It's a much labor.
That's the mashal of Eber, yeah. But that's a shini chitzeni legamri.
Let's talk about Tali, no? I'm saying.
We know about that, yeah.
The first Nakuda, he said it's not like big. The first Nakuda he's saying that it's not Shini, it's not there. He's saying, does go for it's taken not that if. Since it's big it's taken not that if. It's only if Gili Hal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that Gashmis Nelam Hazah, the Shemesh, the light, you could block the light from going into a room. Are you going to say the light, the nature of the light now is in a higher eifin, or it's a little bit smaller? The light in the when you open the window, the light becomes expands, and when you close the window, the light is less expanded. The light pel mamish it is, but not in mahus, so it's a shinui chitzeni. Elokus is even less, because it doesn't lepel mamish. The expansion doesn't. It's only legabi that it's not expressed that a mekabel is margish. Every way you, but Kaplan the Rebbe is saying lepel is a shinui. He was begili, now he's behelim. These don't understand the beer, but the air is not behelim. No.
And the Shamish is a Shin.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing. Then the gam air hanimshach hu kav kotzer v'dak. So the this air, the air hanimshach is already air mukbal. Shemizeh shu kotzer v'dak, movement shenimshach be'efen shel kotzer, shegam zehu tzimtzum. So for the etzim zach that he was nimshach the etzim, that's already lifnei tzimtzum. There I was talking about the eir agvol. The eir agvol lifnei tzimtzum is a prat and the eir abligvol. Ayidei tzimtzum the eir agvol is nirgash as eini b'fnei atzmi, and that in guf is more bagbolet than the way it was lifnei tzimtzum. Well, you say the dugma chassidus that there's bisman abayis there was re'iyah and asagas alukus. Bisman azeh there is no re'iyah alukus. There's no yirah kol surcha. And even hasaga b'zman hazeh is in a lower degree than hasaga the way it was then. So there's two tzimtzum. If someone has hasaga and an inyan that he sees, and he also understands, so the hasaga is in a higher eifin legamri. The hasaga is behemshach to the riyah. The hasaga is not inyan b'fnei atzmi. The minute you only have hasaga, that's already shalei be'er klal legabi hasaga being an extension of the riyah. And then, besides for the fact that you have hasaga, being different from the riyah, the hasaga guf is in a lower eifin. So that's two inyan. So now, even the air gufers leishanisi. So this beer the Rebbe is giving sai legabe the air hagvol and what is it? Where the Rebbe means only the air, only he means only the air hagvol. The air where the tzimtzum was pale. The beer that he gives before is legabe the air abligvol. The tzimtzum had no ashpa on the air abligvol. Well, the air wasn't mishtana at the tzimtzum. So of them the Torah says the tzimtzum is only the gabi kabel. That's coming mamash saying the whole tzimtzum is not tfisas the gabi the era bligvol. The tzimtzum, the fact that it's not nirgash has not tfisas makim the gabi. The gabi the era gvol. The whole shayla is only the gabi the era gvol. Saying what the Rebbe speaks before in the pel shem shini ba'ani ba'atzmus is kevel sai atzmus and also the era bligvol that he brings before. Beid the prat. Vernish mishtana the era bligvol because the tzimtzum is there wasn't pel shini the era gvol. The tzimtzum is just that he's not. That the mekabel is not margish, and that's pasha that the gabi eir abligvul is no shini. The shad is the eir agvul, which the eir agvul is mishtana idei tzimtzum. He becomes he's naif and that he's shalei behemshach to the eir abligvul, and in eir agvul gufa the shinui medarga ledarga l'chor the eir. You can't say the eir the tzimtzum is eini chitzeni. The eir is nimshach in a different eifin because of the tzimtzum.
What are the two inyanim? There's two inyanim that tzimtzum is put.
Yeah, for the etzim zach that the eir is nifret from the eir abligvul. Lifnei tzimtzum the eir agvul was a prat and the eir abligvul. The tzimtzum was spelled that the eir agvul is nimshach azini b'fnei atzmi. And then he's more bemilt. And there's 5 inyanim that speaks about shinuyim the eir agvul the way it was achar tzimtzum lifnei tzimtzum. That brings you to the fact that it's a kaf kotzer, so it's that's a davar neisef, a tzimtzum neisef. So avake name relation is the gabeler. Yeah, I said a little different. I'm saying, but so this the keta before explains two pratim. Side that there's no shine erab legal, and I you're saying tzimtzum does have to attack and stop us on ways that the tzimtzum is only legabe azulas, but legabe the and the zulas is not tefisas makom legabe erab legal, and he himself stays ein sof. And now there's no shine legabe etzem because even a lesser Indian because the whole tzimtzum is the whole is horrible. Then also but the red dom achakam avar yeser is legabe the erag vol. Which the Erag Vol is affected by the Tzimtzum. He's Mishtana in the Tzimtzum. So the it's a Shin.
I guess that this paragraph just explaining why the Tzimtzum is not a Shin.
Because Lepel, the Rebbe mentions it before. And Lepel, he speaks in the Shariach in the beginning, he speaks Mefurish when he gets to the Erab Legal. That finds out in them this prat.
That's the third paragraph is explaining why there's no Shin.
Which one? Vahir Ma'ar Vali Lul Mavar Yeser? No, that's the Tzimtzum. No, that's not Chabert. We'll get to that. No, that's not Chabert. No, that's not Chabert. This for sure speaking about also very Erag Vol, this kata. So here the Rebbe brings two pratim. Mishkas Vat Marasam Tzimtzum Manos Lukus, Mivi Kam Mishkas Beisis Chaim. Shigam Be'er In Shem Shine. Move at Dugmal as a Meish Shan Neshama Datzi. This meaning in the Levus. So what do we see from there? That what's the tzimtzum? L'chora there was a almos. L'chora the parsha that mezagen at Eira Atzilus is in the darg of Atzilus. In order to be nimshach te'elam hazeh, it has to go through tzimtzumim. The Eira has to be mitzamtzum in order to be nimshach te'elam hazeh. L'pel we see from Moshe Rabbeinu that that Atzilus could be meir in elam hazeh. Atzilus could be meir in elam hazeh. The sachakol and even la'achir is talkos Moshe. It's not the pshat. So what are we seeing from Moshe Rabbeinu? But etzem the Eira of Atzilus mitzad the Eir gufe is meir begoli in elam hazeh also. Mitzad the Eir can meir sein bezgalus. L'poil there's no mekabel which is be'erech to be affected by the reality. The way it is mitzad the Eir is not nirgash in the mekabel, but the reality the way it is mitzad the Eir, mitzad him, the fact that there's tzimtzumim and he's nimshach and seder shlashlos in a way that when he comes to elam hazi he's b'tzimtzum, the tzimtzum is not poil on him. It's only poil that the mekabel shouldn't be margish the inyan the way it is in elam hazi. Azay volta gesagt, it says in the mashal nefesh al-seichel amidus. In order for the say or Rabbi Thomas, the seichel with the Rabbi in the sense is in a higher level. In order to explain it to a lower darga, the seichel has to be misamtzim. Here we're saying Atzilus is Eremis the Kelim Atzilus are very high darga. Eremis labish bekelim. This Pashas Advarim, in order for this earth to be nimshach nelam hazi, you have to go through all seder shlashlu, kama v'kama tzimtzumim, and then the earth is mishtana and it comes v'hesim to the mitzvah of elam hazi. Those are k'nishtazeh. We're saying that the earth k'meishu hu ba'Atzilus mitzad his inyan is begolei in elam hazi. Either there's a tzimtzum. The tzimtzum is only because there's mekablim. Legabi the mekabel, we can't be sensitive to the eir. We in elam hazeh, not mitzad the eir, he could be meir in elam hazeh. From the point of view of the eir, he steht begoli da in elam hazeh. From mitzad the point of view of the eir, the mekabel, the way we take elam hazeh, let's say, the way we experience elam hazeh, we cannot be kelim to this eir. So the tzimtzum is only that the eir should that the mekabel shouldn't be nirgash. The tzimtzumim which exist in the Erag Vol are not that the Eir itself is Mishnah. That the Mekabel shouldn't fully experience what the Eir is. But the Eir, mitzvah the Eir's Indian is a Begoli done Elam Hazeh.
How does it fit with the... I know it fits with one. The Rebbe's beer, Shaykh, the helm is the tzimtzum is on... The helm is the miti. The marshal is Caleb.
It's not a stereotype.
I'm saying, we're not saying it's only Mishnah Mekabel and they can't see it. The art and tzum go... As in, how does it...
It's something else. The Eir, it's only Gabi the Mekabel. It's not...
But how do you... The way you make it sound over here is that it's just that we can't... It's Pasha here, Begili. What are the Indians?
No, from the point of view of the Eir, he can be expressed fully. I mean, something's in the state of something's begoli, but no one has eyes to see it. So you say if no one has eyes to see it, or the people's eyes are closed, that means that there's a chisarn in the Indian. Let's say there's an Indian which is mere begoli, someone standing in this room fully open, he's not hiding himself, or someone singing a niggin loud, but l'payel, everybody in the room is tone deaf. So epis felt in zayin gilui. Mashal mukhshi.
Right, but that's what we see over there. It's not just for sure. Like as that person can't see, like as the eyes are closed. It's symptoms in the earth. There's a whole code in the sikh over there, no?
No, the fact, that's something else. The fact that people that are, the fact that there is, it's an ishpun.
I'm saying symptom.
Let's not go into
what is it? Fine. Say, what is tzimtzum for?
Let's see what it says there. The tzimtzum is, if there wouldn't be a tzimtzum, then there would be no way of the mekabel experiencing the air according to his dharma, according to his level. We don't have the light. There's lapel, there's air shining in this world from Elam Atzilus. We don't have the eyes to see it, so we wouldn't experience any light. We would experience Torah, we wouldn't experience darkness. The fact that Tzimtzumim is that the air is Mayer, Legabi the Mekabel, however much we're able to handle. Lepel, the air comes in the air Atzilis is Mashpia and Tzemeach HaMedaber. Begoli. There's Chayes, Keich HaTzmich, and Nimshach in the Tzemeach. How much Keich HaTzmich is Nimshach in the Tzemeach? A mute. Is that because the air comes in a lower way? Or the air from its point of view is Begoli? Tzemeach, the way it is Natzilis, is Meir, from its point of view, is Shaint Begoli in the Ilan. Lepel, the Metzias HaMekabel is not aware of that even. And what is he? But he's aware of how much he's able to handle. And the air is nirgash in a way that he's able to handle. But that's all Legabi the Mekabel. Legabi the air is mitzidek in tzachmeshu. That's I'm saying the Hezbollah that the Rebbe says. What Chassidus says that Atzilus is nimtza kan lamata. Now the Rebbe says in Tanya Dago that in the Esespheres Dasiya you have Esespheres Disir. What's the Rebbe saying? Here you have there. Means that b'pnimis hadvarim. In the Eirat, in Elam Hazeh exists, the Eirin Sof Baruch Hu is Meir Begila in Elam Hazeh. Mitzidai. The fact that the Amita saying it is from the point of view of the air, he's Meir Begila in this world. We don't have the eyes to see it. We don't have the kelim to sense it. And the Pile, we sense the Kos according to how much we're able to sense. That's the Nevemet of the The fact that the air is Meir and Eifin, however much we're able to handle, because the air is not, there's Tzimtzumim, which are Mailim the air, that Legabe Mekabel shouldn't be Nergash the ganze Eira Atzilis. Means in the Mashal we're saying we don't have the eyes to see. What we're saying here, the Tzimtzumim are that the truth, the way it is, mitzad the air, shouldn't be sensed by the Mekabel. And the Mekabel should sense according to his Gedarim. Not, he shouldn't sense the Indian the way it is inside the air, he should sense the Indian according to his Hagbalis.
Some are on the air, they're just only in order for the Mekabel.
All Hagbalis that the Mekabel shouldn't be able to Nergash the Indian. But from the point of view of the air, these agbolas don't exist. Let me send the marshal. Based on Elamim Mechinas Etzel Subriya. Gam Sham Mishchar B'Sim Tishvat LaNavua. In a pirish Yeshin Banavua, the Gamati Yeshin LaNavua. Like Shechasr Mekabel. V'aldera Ze'ili Nimtzim Yeshiv Yino Ato Yegam Ata Neshama Datzilis Begoli. Aldera Shayez there would be a Eira Atzilis Begili in Elam Hazeh. V'imkein Hare Ein Hashini B'Ha'er. Ela She'im Mekabel Lekabel. But the air mitzad atzma is mer dalamata. So what's the tzimtzumim? The tzimtzumim is that the inyan, the way it is mitzad the air, shouldn't be mer in the mekabel. Not that tzimtzumim is that the air should be nismayit. The tzimtzumim is that the inyan, the way it is mitzad the air, shouldn't be nergash by the mekabel. The truth of the air shouldn't be apparent like by the mekabel. But not that the air from its point of view is mishtan. That's what we're saying here. V'harai that the air mitzad atzma is begili. Because Gufishal Meisha, which could tap into this air, what does Mer given Begoli? If you would have a Richtige Mekabel, what Mer given, so this air from its point of view, it's Mer Begili in Elam Hazeh. The Tzimtzumim are that the Mekabel shouldn't experience the air the way it is mitzad the air. He should experience the air mitzad the Hagbalas of Tzimtzum. But that's all, that the Mekabel shouldn't experience the truth the way it is mitzad the air. But mitzad the air, Gufi is Begili, here in Elam Hazeh. That's the idea. The Rebbe says here. The Rebbe is just being mitzvah. What's the tzimtzum? Usually, when you say tzimtzum, the pshat is you say the Rabbi is mitzamtzum the seichel with the Talmud should understand. It's not that. What's the pshat tzimtzum? That the Rabbi is mitzamtzum it. That the Talmud shouldn't experience the full scope of the inyan that he's giving him. He shouldn't experience the seichel the way the seichel is. He's giving him a smaller seichel. He gives him seichel in ba'ifim mitzumtzum. He gives him only the shitchis of the seichel. Doesn't give him the emek. Here we're saying, be'etzem the emek is in the makam hamakal. The emek is in the makam hamakal. What's that tzimtzum? That the mekabel shouldn't experience the inyan, the air, the way it is inside the air. But the air mitzad atzmi is begiven. The fact that there is a gather from mekabel and that he doesn't experience the air k'meishu hu mitzad the air, that's in an amit. It's not chazal. And thus that's Rashaych Lamun. But the shadow is, what's the nature of tzimtzum? That's the shadow. What is the tzimtzum? The tzimtzum is that the inyan is mishtan ayda tzimtzum, or the tzimtzum is that the mekabel shouldn't be margish the air the way the inyan is b'mitase, the way it is inside the air. So there is, from the point of view of air, from the point of view of the espashas alakus, the way he is, from the air, the point of view of the air, the way he is in this world, and the way we experience the air. And that's the tzimtzum, that we shouldn't experience the air the way the air is present here. We should experience the air the way tzimtzum, the way in a different way. in Eifen that he's not here. But the tzimtzum is not payal on him, that his being here should be dependent according to the Eifen tzimtzum. That's the dogma was we bring. Where's the dogma? The dogma is Eira Atzilis, from its point of view, can meir zayin begoli bisman hazeh. The payal there's no guf of Meisha, but there's no guf of Meisha means that the Eira is bis almost. You don't have the mahatish the eigen to the zen. As a dot the guf is Meisha, so the Eira Atzilis will be meir begili in elam hazeh. So it's not the pshat that is almost ha'er, the halomas of Malchus, the Malchus that Asiya is that the Eir should be mismayit, the gabe the Eir. The Eir mitzvah means begili. But the tzimtzum is that the mekabel, lemata, shouldn't be margish the Indian the way it is inside the Eir. Means there's the presence of a lakus the way it is inside the lakus, even the Eir HaGvul, and there's the metzias, there's the hergish of Eir HaGvul, the way we experience the Eir HaGvul. Now, I think what they're saying here is, what's taka the beer was it? What's the pshat in them? That it's Eir HaGvul. It means it's an Eir which comes the Erech Metzias Eilumis. It's not an Eir, we're not talking about the Eir HaBlikvul. Eir HaBlikvul steht in the Eir good, so the Eir HaBlikvul is near Kameshu b'chol makim. He's in stuff, he's near Kameshu. Here we're saying that it's Eir HaAtzilis. So Eir HaAtzilis has Agbalis. Atzilis is Elam Hazeh is not Kelim for Atzilis. What's the pshat that Atzilis is Meir here, Bisman HaZelamat? So this al derech zeh, l'chorem, it's Manas L'kus steht etwas anders. Was steht in Manas L'kus? Al derech zeh, mishkas mit Manas L'kus, b'dugmas Rab mashpia seichel l'talmidei. So was steht dort? Sheseichel ha'Rab, v'shleiberach ha'seichel v'anas ha'talmid. B'dei she'yi es l'seichel v'arach ha'talmid, tzarech l'salik sichle l'gamri. V'achar kach ha'mamtzi seichel v'arach ha'talmid. So here we have a tziyur that you have a metzias, you have seichel v'arach ha'talmid, you have the way it is from the point of view of the seichel ha'Rav, and you have the way it is from the point of view of the Talmud. From the point of view of Seichel HaRav, he's being masber Seichel Mitzumtzum. We're not saying that there is no Seichel Mitzumtzum. He's masber the Seichel in a way that a Talmud should understand. There is the way he understands the Seichel. He understands the Seichel Shalei Be'erach to the Klei Talmud. Versteht this his Blikvul. He's masber the Seichel in a way it should be behesem to the Talmud. The Rav sees in this Seichel Mitzumtzum, he sees in it his whole Emek HaSeichel. On the Talmud, that decision. What's the pshat in there? What's the pshat that the Rav sees in this Seichel Mitzumtzum, sein ganze Emek, his whole Emek. And so we're saying that there's no Seichel Mitzumtzum according to the Legabi Rav. There's no Seichel Mitzumtzum, there's only Seichel Blikvul. There is a Seichel Mitzumtzum. There's a chilek how you view the Seichel Mitzumtzum. Is the Seichel Mitzumtzum something different than the Seichel Rav Atzmei? Or the Seichel Mitzumtzum, from the point of view of the Rav, is dorten gefinzach and dorten scheint, begoli, his Seichel. Begoli, not behelem. Dorten scheint, begoli, Legabi Rav, his Seichel. Agam it's a Seichel Mitzumtzum. And from the Talmud's point of view, he only sees the external part. That means, so what comes out is, there's the chitzenius of the air, and there's the primius air. The amitas einir of the air. The chitzenius air of Eir HaAtzilis is that it's air mugbal. And it comes, and the air of Tzemeach is air mugbal according to Tzemeach. And the Eir HaAtzilis is mugbal according to the Tzir of Atzilis. That's the chitzenius. The primius, it's Ein Sof Mamish. It's the same Ein Sof as the Fnei Tzimtzum. That's the Lemes HaMeser's man. I think that's the Yisod why mitzad the Eir there's no Agbolis. Why mitzad the Rav the Eir HaAtzilis can be nimshach adol lamata, because the Pnimis Eir HaAtzilis and the Eir is the same Eir. The Eir HaAtzilis and the Eir HaAsiya is the same Eir, but Pnimis Ein. The Pnimis Ein Sof and the Pnimis is the same Inyan. Bechitzenius, this is a keich etzmicha gashmis, and this is keich etzmicha vatzilis. But the Pnimis is the same Inyan.
It's the same. Why is it just the same gvul? Why is it?
It's not the same gvul, but here it's in a higher Eifen. Here it's in the way it's in the
gvul b'atzim
is blikvul.
Why did it go there?
Because it's one thing. What's the pshat that it's Ein Sof Taka? Okay, it's the same Inyan Taka. It just brings out a different nekudah. Lamas than the lashon v'shtei though. He says, "Do what's happening to be a seichel talmid. Seichel Rav shalei berach, seichel v'avanas talmid." So what's clear? Seichel Rav shalei berach. The Rav sees the Inyan. The Rebbe's dogma was that the Rav sees the Inyan in Atzilis, and the Talmud sees the Inyan in Elam Hazeh. Shalei berach klal. V'chdei she'es seichel berach hatalmid means he doesn't speak the language, let's say, of Biyad. So zayin azas seichel tzarich l'salik sichle legamri. V'achar k'choman tzei seichel berach hatalmid. He says afilu k'shemesalik sichle ein apirah she'oz ein seichel etzlei. Yes, yes, this seichel ha-seichel k'mikayda. It's not the pshat. The tzimtzum is not the pshat. That legabi the Rav, the seichel harav, gets anders. That legabi a Talmud, the fact that in the seichel is the fact that the seichel ha-mitzumtzum is connected to the seichel harav shouldn't be shaykh to the Talmud. That's the tzimtzum. B'negei la kisha shesh b'nam kabbalah Rav, ein shaykh zeh sherav b'aseichel g'mikeh. Legabe their connection, the fact that the Rav is b'aseichel, the fact that the tzimtzum is not meshana, does the hodesh tzimtzum Talmud. כי אם עד עכשיו צורך להמשיך ולגלי שכל תלמידים, בזה אין שכל לרב בגולי, גם לא שכל לגבולי שבי, היינו השכל שבערך התלמיד כמו שהוא ברב בגולי ביחד בשכל שמצד הרב. ואומר לגבי התלמיד. כשהוא צורך להמשיך ולגלי שכל תלמידי, אז בזה בערך התלמיד זה שנרגע דרב. Yeah, the Lashon is nicht as gering zu verstehen. But the Lashon in the Manos Lakus is that who has the Mamish? I'm saying, but what's the beer that taking Siddur Legabi the Rabbi Talmud? The beer of state is that because what's Taka the Pshat? What's Taka the Pshat that the Rav is Bekeichei to be Masber Seichot HaTalmud Shlei Berech lower than him? So if the Rav understood the in a certain Seer, Bagbala, but the Takan is can't masber sein the seichel to darga which is shalei be'erechtem. If you have the Indian, if you have an Indian in a certain midah b'shir, so a darga which is shalei be'erech, a which is shalei be'erech to the Rav, so you have no way of relating the Indian to him, because you have the Indian in a way that's beyond the seichel Talmud. So on one hand we're saying the Rav is shalei be'erech to the Talmud. If the Rav is shalei be'erech to the Talmud, how does he have the ability to explain the seichel in a way that's best into the Talmud? Because the Rav has the Indian without akbolos. That's because the Rav sees the Inni without any limits. Because the Rav has the Inni without Akbalis, can es masber zan also bei from tzimtzum. The mahus, the seichel Rav is not a tzir of blikvo. He has the nekudas seichel the way it is mufshit from any agdar, from any akbal. The mele he can explain the seichel in any way, even in a tzir mitzumtzum. So the reason why is mashpia. So what's the reason why Lukus is mispashet also in Eifin of Erekbo? What's the premise for them that Lukus could also come Erekbo? Because the Lukus is also shaykh to Gvo. The Eivah ain't sub blik Gvo. Lo yehoyam makom limit seilins. What's like the pshat that he comes in Eifin of Gvo? Because Amitis ain't sub has no akbalas klal. He has no akbalas klal. He cannot say that he can't be in a certain way. So what's the yisad that he's in Eifin of Gvo? Because he's shaykh to Gvo? Because he's also small, or because his ain't sub has no definition? If it's because his Ein Sof has no definition, so the Pnimius of the Erak Vol is the same Erak Blik Vol. For what can it come in Elam Hazah? Why can it come in Elam Hazah? Because he's not Mugbal if you be in Eifin of Elam Hazah. He's not Mugbal he could be in a Tzir of Atzilis. So it's the same Ein Sof, which is not Mugbal, can in Al Eifan. It's the same Ein Sof. Versteht the meaning?
Basi is the same Hezbollah.
Hezbollah as what?
Blik Vol.
No, but Legabi the Erak Blik Vol.
You're saying the same.
No, you're saying Legabi this. You say this back at it. The Rebbe brings there taka. That the Rebbe says be'hamshich mefurish that the Erak Blik Vol is nimtzah Vol. I'm saying it's much over also. The Rebbe is saying that the tzimtzum. What's the shinei that was made in the Erak? The shinei that he was nimshach adei tzimtzum, and then the shinei im la'achre tzimtzum. What's the shinei by adei tzimtzum? That he's menutek from the Erak Blik Vol. So this beer is a beer that is not be'emes menutek from the Erak Blik Vol. I say there's two pratim in the shinei. The fact that he's mishtana me'edom lo'elam, and the fact that he's in a eifin that is nifras from the Erak Blik Vol. And legabe beide pratim zakmen that the shinei is only legabe the way it is mitzad the Rav is that it's all this Ein Sof. But legabe the Talmud is a davar mitzumtzum. The Talmud is gvul. Legabe the Talmud is not nikar this inyan that mitzad the Rav there's no shinei. From the point of view of Ein Sof, the fact that he's in Elam Hazeh is not a hataka from his Ein Sof. But the Talmud doesn't experience that. The Talmud sees a small Inyan. The Talmud is small, and he sees a small Inyan. From the vantage point of Ein Sof, the small is all an expression and because he's Ein Sof. But that's from the vantage point of Ein Sof. From the vantage point of the Talmud, he just sees a davar shel gvul.
The Kudah isn't that the Blik Vol is shiny here. The Kudah is that the Shlomo Skilu, it's all part of the same union.
And b'meila it's begilui. Legabi the the Ein Sof of Elokus is begilui. There's no shinui. The whole tzimtzum, The tzimtzum is that the Indian should be made in a way that a Makabal should be able to be teifus. Yeah. I'm saying the Indian tzimtzum is that the Makabal Gvuli, which doesn't experience Inyan Mitzad Eir, he should also experience Ilchus. That's the tzimtzum. The tzimtzum is not to limit the Eir. The tzimtzum is that a Makabal Gvuli, which does not experience things from the vantage point of Ein Sof, he should experience Ilchus. Now, that Indian Gufa, what's the premise of that? From the point of view of Ilchus, the fact that even a Makabal Gvuli can experience it. Because he's Ein Sof. But, and from the vantage point of Ein Sof, there's no Shinei, Sa'al's M. But from the Mekabal's point of view, he, the Pearl, gets a Seichel Mukbal. If there wouldn't have been Tzimtzum, so there's only the way the Rav experiences it. There is no Geder that Talmud experiences it. Tzimtzum is that the Rav relates himself that a Talmud Kotten should be able to be Teifisim. The Talmud doesn't relate to the whole vantage point of the Rav. So the Tzimtzum is that the vantage point of the Rav shouldn't be Nirgash the way the Talmud experiences it. The Talmud is Glat Hazikvul. From the vantage point of Glat Hazikvul, what do you see? A Seichel mit Tzimtzum. You don't see a Seichel Blikvul.
The way that I've experienced it isn't Blikvul. The way I experience it is that's a minion, no?
Say this.
So when we say the way I experience it, I don't mean
the Mele, he sees that the Eirag Vol is his Espashas Ein Sof, the same with the Eirag Blikvul. It's not two separate in Yon.
When we're saying that I've experienced it,
you're saying for a different Nekudah together. Tzimtzum, why it wasn't a Tzimtzum, so they're saying it's all the time the Kabbal experience in
Yeah.
So it's a different Nekudah.
Then I was saying yesterday.
No, then you're just saying now. You're saying because of the fact that the Arab role, the Gabi, it's a hamshach of
the
Pshittas. The Arab role, the hamshach.
But the Mekabel doesn't experience Pshittas Ein Sof. The Mekabel gets a Seichel mit Tzimtzum.
I'm saying we're trying to explain why the Arab role.
We're trying to explain that the Eirag Vol, even though L'chori comes behesin to the Metzias Eilumis, the fact, so he comes in a limited way. Atchali was in a higher way. Let's say this Eir was in Atzilus, was in a higher way. He came to Asiyah, he came in a lower way. The Eir didn't change. It's the same exact Eir. It's the same Ein Sof. And it's the same Eir, it's the same way the Eir is in Atzilus is the Eir Chatan Elam Hazir. It's the same Eir. And then it's the same Nekudah that a Lakus could also be in a Tzir of Gvul. But from the point of view of Tziyurim of Gvul, it's like a two Tziyurim. From the point of view of Gvul, from a Makabel, which is not Blik Gvul, from someone Azulas, there's different Sichlim Tzimtzum. There's different dargas. But from the point of view of the Elyon, which is Ein Sof, Legabe him, it's all one Nekudah Sa'etzim of Ein Sof. There's no Shinuyim B'Amitesim in the air itself. Saying this Nekudah is the Adarach Nekudah Midat HaMasbeh. It's the same. What we're saying is, what's the pshat that the Rav could come in a small way? What's the pshat that the Rav can mitzvah himself in an eifin of katnus? Because the Rav doesn't have it. He's not mugbal in the gather of katnus. So his etzem is Ein Sof. So he sees the Nekudas Ein Sof there. That Nekudas Ein Sof is also blikvul. The same Nekudas Ein Sof, which is mechayiv, which lets him be in an eifin of gvul, that same Nekudas Ein Sof is the reason why he's blikvul. It's the same Nekudah. It's not a different mahos. And from the point of view of the Ein Sof, can Hashem be gilui? From the point of view of the truth, the Gvul and the Blikvul are not a stira. From the Mekabel's point of view, the Gvul is a mitzvah v'fnei atzmei, Gvul is a stira to Blikvul. And versteht doch anders, was so?
Why do we need this one? Why is not enough of the...
What's
because before
the what?
The Arab Gvul, the Gabi Aaron said is not a shit.
It's not a shini. Why is it not a shini?
Because it's not a reference.
That's the Gabi the Blikvul. Why is there no shini in the Eirag Gvul Guf? That's the shayla. The Eirag Gvul Guf has shini. That's the shayla. That's what they were speaking over here. Why the Eirag Gvul goes through different shini? If them sagt the Eirag Gvul Guf, there's no shini amiti in there. Steht nicht.
No, I understand.
Oh, okay. Good. Now we're going to be weiter. Here there was adding another point. So what sagt da? Not only the mitzvah, the point of view of the Eir. The Eir Hagvul is the same Eir as the Eir Hablikvul, but what's the tzimtzum? The tzimtzum is that to give space to the way the Mekabel senses things. That's the code of tzimtzum, right? The Rav gives space to experience things the way the Mekabel gives it. So now, l'chora, that's a shini. You have the from the Rav's, before the tzimtzum, there was only the Rav's point of view. Now there's the Talmud's point of view. There's the Gvul mitzad the gather of Gvul. Gvul from the point of view of the Talmud is a new Inyan. So that's nicht gewähnt früher. Legabi the Rav, the fact that it comes into Gvul is not a Shinui. But Lepoil, now that there was a Tzimtzum means that the Inyan, the way it is inside the Eldin in Nishmeir. And the Mekabel senses the Inyan according to the Mekabel's Gdor, which was the Mekabel's Gdor in Gvul. So the Gdorim of the Mekabel is through Tzimtzum is in a smug Tamitzit, which is not the Elyon. Lifnetz in the air is supposed to be Gilui. So in the air is not Mishtan. But L'chura there's a tzir of the Mekabel. And the tzir of the Mekabel is other than the Rekudas HaBli of the Rav. What's the Tzimtzum? Tzimtzum is that the Inyan, the way it is inside the Elyon, shouldn't be Meir. And the Elyon is not Mishtan. But Akopanim, the Inyan, the way it is inside the Elyon, shouldn't be Meir Begoli. And now there is the way the Zulas is Tevis the Inyan. The Elyon Herzach nicht, and there's the way the Zulas is Tevis the Inyan. There's a gather of Gvul. The gather of Gvul is Gvul. From the point of view of Gvul, so there's an Inyan which is not the Eirab Gvul. So the Nacham Metzias. Why is there not a Shini Legabi Lifnat Tzimtzum? Lifnat Tzimtzum there was only the Rav, there was no Metzias of the Mekabel. Now through the Tzimtzum, this Alma Sa'er, there's an Asmagam to the Hergesh of Mekabel, to the Hergesh of Gvul, which is not Behesen to the Bli.
Even though it's just a Shini Chitzayni, but it's still...
It's not a Shini the Eirab.
Even though it's a Shini Chitzayni Legabi the Eirab, but it's still considered a Shini.
No Nacham Metzias.
Why is it a Shabbat about the Shnisi?
Chod of Nisi is that it's not shaykh to say that it's Lepoil, there is Elikus, the way Elikus is higher than giving a higher. There is reality where there's no musik of a makabel, and then there's a lower stage where there's the Rav is Beis Amos, and he gives space for another. His reality doesn't change. But now there is a tzimtzum, and the tzimtzum caused that there's a reality of a makabel which is not sensitive to his truth.
That's what Anibal Shnisi is, even though he did all of that.
So there's a reality outside of Elikus. There's a reality which shalei behesim to this pashas Elikus. That's guf as a shini. From the point of view of lifnei tzimtzum, the way the Elikus is nisad atzmei, before there was a tunu of his almos, there's only him, and there's no concept of a zulas. There's no concept of gvul, al gvul. Mashiach Nadei Tzimtzum, there's a concept of a Metzias. Metzias v'yesh. So Adem sagt the Rebbe that the truth is that the pnimius of the Mekabel, there is no such a thing, a gather of Gvul of the gather of Gvul. Because the whole Kavanah, why there's an Inyan Tzimtzum, is all in order for the Talmud to experience the Bli of the Rav. It's this should not differ, but it's the fact that there's a musig of Gvul al Gvul is in order for the truth of Elikus to also be meir mitzad the gather of Gvul, not only mitzad the gather of Bli Gvul. Let's see the Lashon inside. I start ashning, then I lose touch of what's going on. Lamer Zama Shteba. So what's from früher hat meant that there's no Shin in the air. Was liegt dazu da, that even mitzad that Tzimtzum gam ke Lishan is. Why is that the Moshe the Gemara Avishon Lamed the Megal Seichel Talmidei? The Chefzi who why is he Megal Seichel Talmidei? Why is he being Mevar Seichel Talmidei? Why is he being with Tzamtzum Seichel? So his point is not Chefze Shiyeh and Tiyesef Kamay. Means what's that? We're saying before. One way you say what's the Nukuda? The Rav should bring out that he's not mukbal and how to give over his seichel. That's not that's for what we said before is negate just that. The fact that the Rav is masber seichel Talmud, that's an expression of his shleimus. Remember, there's no agbalas. But the poil, the Talmud doesn't experience the way it is inside the experience of the Rav. The Talmud's way of experiencing it, the Talmud's metzias, is a metzias which is nothing to do with the Rav, or the fact that the Rav relates to a Talmud which is not like him, is because he wants to elevate this Talmud that even someone that's not like him should become like him. What's his purpose? Why is he being masber seichel Talmud? Because he wants that someone that's not like him should also be like him. What do you need to taste of Kamayv? What's the Ili Shabbat? The Ili is that not only the Seichel Rav is true from his point of view, even from a point of view of a Talmud which is Shalei Baruch lower than him, also this Mitzvah Talmud should also be Nis'ala to the sense. Should also become a Keli to the sense. Here we're saying that from the point of view of the Rav, the fact that he's Mitzamtzim is not a real Tzimtzum. It doesn't affect him, because he's Ein Sof throughout the entire journey. But the Talmud doesn't experience that. Why is he's using the Talmud as Yechetim? There's one code is thing on Bas Bashtet, the fact that Rav is Mashviah to the Talmud to bring out that he doesn't have the Indian in a limited way. That he has the Indian on Agbalas. Then we're saying that the truth of the Rav should also be true from the vantage point of the Talmud. That the Matthias HaTalmud should be in this aleph, should be like the Rav. It's like, what's the Nekudah? That the Eira Bligvul should be B'kol Mokim? Or the Matthias HaGvul should be a Keli to the Bligvul, should be like him. Not only the truth of Elikus should be from the vantage point of Elikus, even the Matthias of Gvul should be like him. That's the Nekudah. That's the Shanam that in the Gansa. In the Gvul should be a Keli to the Bligvul. In Gvul Avel should be in his Gal to the Bligvul. That even the emes is that the Makam HaMakabel is not an Indian outside of the Eibishter's Bligvul. Huh? What do you mean before it wasn't? That's the premise that's at Tzimtzum. In his Gal, that's the premise Indian. It means that the Amitis Indian, there's never a Tnua of leaving the Ein Sof, the Ein Sof, the Ein Sof Elikus.
Could we say like Bligvul and Amdos or?
Even though it's not, it's schwer zu wissen. Lass mir sagen, was da steht. Weißt du, was man dogma schon Rav Shimon im Gal sich Talmid, der Hefzi hu shiye nit Yosef kamay. Was will er? Der ist Talmidim sollen sein, als wie eine Tachlis Rabu shiye hat Talmid. Sof kemer Rav. Not only that his seichel should be B'kol Mokim, but that the Talmid should be like the Rav. K'teish yuchla makabel hokas hashpa v'yov eliyas k'merat tzorch liyas tzimtzum mesechel Rav Legamri. Siluv k'tzimtzum rishon. V'char gas tzorch liyas mshachas kav kotzer v'dak. Seichel shberech hatam. V'gam seichel zeh tzoroshim shechlik misheru ba'arav v'atz mil shveitim kodesh shel kotzer v'dak. K'teish tzakav v'oz yismal sof kavanas Rav shiyeh neti Yosef k'mayu k'mei Rav. Ken v'zogt. Relay zol v'vat shemitzad ha'erin shinei sh'arei eru begoli. V'rak sheiz ha'shayach l'tam. The air from its point of view is mere begoli. I feel mitzad that tzimtzum atzmai, which the tzimtzum is the fact that he does relate to the Talmud, even that aspect in the air that relates to the Talmud, not the aspect in the air which does not relate to the Talmud. The aspect in the air which relates to the Talmud is gvul. I feel that tzimtzum atzmai. Kimin shkolim yana yukdishin teis v'kamayu hayna shatalmud yekemei Rav sheyikach gamas ablikvo shel Rav v'arei aderech lezo hatzimtzum and mkeneri b'shas hatzimtzum yesh ba tzimtzum asher Rav oblikvoli. Leish gam hatalmud yekin blik voli tzrichen linyanim elu tzimtzum. Ken in ze shine amidi v'rak shel hatalmud nirakin aval Rav rei kvar be'a tzimtzum v'ashine ish ha'idei ze nasa ha'inyin d'neti Yosef k'mayse or shemekedem u'v'keach v'aschal v'achar g'bol l'perek. Nach ha'inyin. Rebbe saying the pnimius ha'gvul is that in the gvul zameir is and the blik vul. What's the pnimius ha'tzimtzum? The pnimius, not the hanimshach adei tzimtzum. The hanimshach adei tzimtzum is ein sof. What's the pnimius tzimtzum? The pnimius tzimtzum is what's the tzimtzum? Mizot zugin tzat The Elikus relates to Azulas, to Talmud. What's the pnimius of this tzimtzum? That sof kol sof, the blik vul of the Rav, the Talmud should be a keli to the blik vul of the Rav. I mean that the gvul should be in this achad with the blik vul. The Zulas, which is Gvul, he should be in his achad with the Blikvul. So what's the Pnimius HaGvul? The Pnimius HaGvul is Blikvul.
Even though the Fisha...
See, the Nekudas HaTzimtzum is not... Why are we leaving? Why is the Elikus... Eibishter is Ein Sof. Why is he giving space for another? Because the fact that the Eibishter's Blikvul should also be that the other should be a keli for it. The other, which is not like him, which is Zulas, should also be a keli to this people. And that's the pnimius of what the tzimtzum is. It's never a tnua of giving space for an other. It's in order for also an other to be a keli to the Ein Sof. So the pnimius of the gvul is the blik gvul.
So we understand, before we still understand that coming in the Eif and Mubal is a chelik b'shlema saying safe, just we don't understand Kibu.
But the what's the gather of gvul? No, what's the point? if what's saying here is what the Rebbe says in Gadliyah, Dutch State, the shaila is without this word, you say there is the Rav Seichel is blikvol. From the vantage point of the Rav, you see his name Shachoyefim B'Tzumtzum. You see the Rav says the Rav is Masber Seichel and Lavush of a mashal. Let's say from the point of view of the Rav, the Seichel that he's explaining in the mashal is the same Mahus Ein Sof as the Seichel the way he understands it. But the question is the Lavush itself. The Makabel is not the Rav. The Poel, what is Tzimtzum? Tzimtzum is space for another. Tzimtzum is this almos. Mitzat Tzimtzum, there's a gather of Gvol, the way the Talmud experiences Gvol. What is that Inyan and Inyan Alaki, or that's Inyan outside of Alakus? The fact that he's everywhere is something else. So then L'chatchila there's no the fact that the Rav's the Eir is Nimshach B'chol Makom. Then the question is, but what's the Metzias HaTalmud? What's the Metzias of the Makabel? Is the Metzias of the Makabel Gvul? And then Lepoil comes out that there's an aspect in Metzias which is not a Keli Talakus. There's an aspect in Metzias which is Mechutz to the Inyan of Eir. There's a Tisvagam to another Metzias, Mitzat Tzimtzum. Or we're saying that even though there's another aspect, he's everywhere. Here we're saying another word. The pnimius of the Gvul of the Makabel is that even the Makabel should be a Keli to Gvul.
So what do you mean before you said this is like Bilay? The thing before?
No, the Mashal before is like Bilay.
This is the...
Where the Tzimtzum Guf and it doesn't say this word. The Tzimtzum Guf.
So he says that.
First the Kodol, that's the Bilay.
First, this is the second word I'm saying. The second word is the Tzimtzum. I'm talking about the second word. It's the Tzimtzum Gam conditions. I say something. I was saying the other day that I'm saying is that there is that there's three inyanim. There's one inyan is that the fact that the Eira Blikvol is nimtzah. The Gabi the Eira Blikvol there's no mitzvahs. Then there is that he could be nimshach even in the mitzvahs. He could be nimshach b'chol makom. That's another inyan. But then there is what's the pnimius? Not that the Eira Blikvol mitzvah this Ein Sof could be nimshach b'chol makom. That the gvul could be a keli for the Blikvol. It's not chazar. You say the Eira is Ein Sof. The Talmud is not. So the Talmud is gvul. Saying through the Enof Tzimtzum, the Talmud could be a keli to Blikvol. We're not saying that the Talmud could become Eis Talmud. The Talmud, the mitzvah of the Talmud is from the fact that the Eir could be B'chol Makom. The Eir is Ein Sof is not Chazak. They were saying something else. The Talmud, which is Gvol, through the Ashpa Seichel Rav Talmidei, the Talmud is Nis'ala and becomes like him, like the Rav. I say, how could the Talmud become like the Rav? The Rav is Shalei Be'er higher than him. How does the Talmud become like the Rav? You say, what's the problem? From the Rav's point of view, it's not limited. But for Ein Sof is not limited, but the Talmud is not Ein Sof, the Talmud is Gvol. So how could the Talmud be like him? L'poil on the Mashal of Adonai works in the Mashal of Rabbi Talmud, but that's in them does lit in the Keach Hashpa. That the Eimek of the Rav is not limited to be dafke from his point of view. It's true. It could also be neskabel by Azulas. That's Ili Nesef. And because that's that's I think this word brings out the Rebbe says before that there is the Ili Ha'er and the Etzem. The Rebbe speaks three inyanim here in the Heder Hashinu. One Indian is that the Eira Blikvol is not mishtane because the Gvul is not the Vismakim. The Helam is not the Vismakim. The other Indian is that the Eira Gvul, the Eira is not mishtane. And the third Indian is that the Primis, that the Kavanas at Tzimtzum is that the Primis Hagvul, the Mekabel should become a Kedi to the Blikvol. That's al derech. That's that brings out three Elohim. The fact that the Eira Blikvol is not legabi him, there's no tefisa smakim d'shinuyim. That is mitzad gedra er gufim, mitzad gedra gili guf is mukder l'gdarim of gili. Vot gedarf zayin that if he's begili ubehelim is tefis smakim. The fact that the Eira is not mishtana, that the mitzvah has not tefisa smakim klal legabi the elyon, that's a certain Elion Eira. That's certain Elion. The second thing is that it can be nimshach, that the Blikvol is not mugbal to be netzir of Blikvol. It can be nimshach Blikvol. That's the Indian Eisef. Lifnei Tzimtzum hat sich angehört to Eira Blikvol, the Tunas of Blikvol itself. But shaken Adei Tzimtzum, we bring out the Shnuas of the Kulah. That it can also be an Eifin of Gvol. Lopel Lifnei Tzimtzum, there was at Mergman the Tunu of Loi Hayom Makom Living the Seilas. But the fact that there's Eira of Blikvol and Ava became there could be an Eira Gvol, and it's one Indian. So that's an uftu which is nizgala through Tzimtzum. The Indian that Ein Sof is Kelo Sai Eira Blikvol Sai Eira Gvol, the Tachas Ein Sof, Lopel comes to the Gilui Ayidei Indian at Tzimtzum. And then the third Indian is Nachad Atifra is that. That's the Indian which is l'chura higher than Geder Er, that even the Mekabel, which is not Er, could also be a keli to the bleak of the Rav. That's that through Tzimtzum there's the Keach HaEtzem, which means that even a Zulas could be a keli for the, could be the Chibur of the Mekabel and the Rav.
Even the first thing is that he's in your head of a gili, right? Not in your head of
Yeah, but it's steht nicht mehr vor, ich think it's hard to.
The thing is, I'm saying, well, the first Kudah was saying, it's here, it's all here.
Zurück mal haben ihn, ich sage nur, was kann sein. Was kann sein. I'm saying not verstehen, so it's Sifhei is a whole new Indian in the Ganzen. A whole new, and this is another point that's good to remember. It's important to remember. What does the Rebbe say in the beginning? But the Shmat Gishwen genug the word. What the Rebbe says in the beginning, the Fitik Rebbe's Lashon is Kshem Shein Sof Lamata Mata Bispash Gilad in Shir Kmeikenu Eres Sof Lamata Mata Ad in Ketz V'chenas Helem Shehelem Acher Helem. So three years Madam. Same way we say Lamata Mata Ad in Tachlis is equal to that is Lamata Mata Ad in Ketz. So the same way, I think the Rebbe says before that in order to understand Bar Chavo Ba'amkos in of Lamata Mata Ad in Ketz. So the same way you spoke Kam V'Kam Prot Lamata Mata Ad in Tachlis, you have B'Makbil Zeh in the Lamata Mata Ad in Ketz. So the Rebbe speaks Kama v'Kama Inyanim the Lamata Mata Ad in Ketz. What the Rebbe is speaking till now is the Lamata Mata Ad in Ketz. In Vos Bashtet the Helim, lechatchila the whole Kavanas Helim is there should be the Bligvol even the Makam Makabel. I mean the ultimate. See this Kama v'Kama Iluim which is brought out in the Indian Tzimtzum. The fact that the Eid is not Mishtane Aydat Tzimtzum brings out a certain aflo in there. That even if the Makam Makabel is not behesim to him, but the Makabel is not Tevis Makam Legabim. The fact that he could be misgaleh, the fact that the Eid could also be an Eifin of Gvul, could also be an Eifin of Makabel, that brings out that the Eid is not Mugbal to the Tzir of Bligvul. The beauty that he's saying told the Mata Adin Tachas that there's a Izgalus of Bligvul b'chomav. Here we're saying he doesn't have to be in Izgal in a Tzir, he could come in a Tzir of Gvul, and that's also his Ein Sof. Saying that's. And then there is the fact that the Gvul could also be a Keli to his Ein Sof. The Helim, what's the Nekudas Helim? That even mitzad the Zulas, even mitzad a Makabel, even not mitzad the Spashas Elyon, the Zulas could be a Keli for him. Could be a Keli to his big Smachavar. What the Rebbe is Lepoil, the Rebbe there's inyanim of Punktas we're going to get the Mata Adi Tachlis. There's inyanim of three fanim in the Spashas Ein Sof, and then there is the Rebbe says Kam Fan Ashas Ein Sof, and then the very fact. I don't know exactly how the Hakbola works, but it sounds like from the end of the Mamer that it's Hakbola. Al Derev's here, there's Kam v'Kam in Yonim and Helim. What the Rebbe starts speaking weiter is that there's an Akudah of Helim, which is not B'Shvil HaGilui. The Helim, the way it has nothing to do with Halakus Kaviyah. Not even Mitzias of an Eilam, which is Sof Kol Sof Nis'ale, not that the Pnimius HaHelim is B'Shvil HaGilui. The Etzim in it, there's a matter of Almas of Halakus, of Klipis of Liyu Erev and Yasisini. The phase of not being in the Hesem Holocaust. Before we say that the Pnimius, the Kavanas Agil, the Kavanas Helm Mashul Agil, the Etzem Helm, which is the matzav of not experiencing Holocaust. That Gufa doesn't yield in that Indian Gufa, a lower Helm, and this lower Helm is all Helamis lower and lower, which are really higher and higher. There's the Gufa is not Mishtana. The Eid is Nimshach b'Gvul, but the Etzem is b'Gvul. The Gvul Guf is a Keli to b'Gvul. And then there is the Gvul not as a Keli to b'Gvul. The Etzem in Nahelim. The Etzem in Mitzias v'Yeshes. Not in a Eifin that he's a Talmud which was being Nis'ale to the Rab. The Etzem in of Nesinas Makam the Mitzias. And that also brings out a certain Gilui. But Baseret and Sifhei, Ret and Andarini. You see, he starts off. Sat calling on Etzem Sumhei Nemesh Leishanisi. His Avla came in a Gil like Gilui b'Helam Acher Helam. וכנ"ל מתרס אבא שם תפנשתבש באיסיס מאלף התו עד שנעשה חשך וווי was will is being with them חשך וווי was klippus. I mean there's the experience of not a Talmud not a Metziah shel Zulas was kenes alle werden ein Sach mit them and it could have there's an lepelm to that Tzimtzum there's a reality of Hepech HaLukus not the Etzem meaning of the Metziah which is not a Lukus which could self through Aveda Binis Ale the Etzem meaning of Metziah and klippus outside of Lukus that's a Helam Neisef not the Shalagim. And that Indian is nachahechere either. The etzem Indian that Elokus is not mugder to the milas that there should be an Indian of Iluim. We'll have to see the Hemshah. And Sivav is going to be a beer on that Indian. I heard the meaning, but here's a new kav.
This is what he was getting to a long time.
Yes, I think that this is not behessen to the part of the Magid. Pashto Sadvar. The part of the Magid is that the Helim is not a naif and it's not shaykh to the Gilui. It should be Nis'akid. Da redt der Rebbe schon eine andere Sache. Der Etzem Keach HaHester. The Etzem Keach HaGvul is a dafür stehen begoli. And there's a mile in the fact that Elokus doesn't have to be Be'efish Lagili. It's another Indian. The Elokus has to be Megale that the fact that there's a Hester is because the Ebesh could be master himself. Not that the Hester should be the bleak vol also inside the Mekabel. That the Keach Hester Guf is Mishish in the Etzem. So that's Veter Indian. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying just Ifanim Ifsharim in the Indian. I'm saying this sif of the Leshanisi is nicht as gering zu verstehen. I'm saying it's not easy Indian.
Can we say the Shem is legal in Emes or?
Emes in of Keli. I'm saying the chibur of the Metzias in the air. The chibur of the Metzias in the air. Emes is not a chibur of the Metzias in the air. Emes is... Yeah, you're saying the first life. Yeah, but the Master wants to say that from the point of view, not that he's misached with the bleak vol. That there's Rayis in the Bria for the Kus. It's not a word of... Here we're saying that the Rav will ufton, that the Tamas will sign as Eviyah. The air without Tzimtzum is limited, that he should be mispashed. Through Tzimtzum, it's getan that the air could also be an Eif, that the Talmud should be a Kedi for the air. Not from the Mekabel, that the air should also be an Eif, and that the Mekabel should be a Kedi for the air. Say there should be bad. I don't know if the Knetch is... Tzimtzum is Peila Ili in the air. That the air does not have to be in a... Not only the air is mispashed, b'chol mokim, but that the mokim is a Kedi to the air, and is misached with the air. You're saying the second one, but the first word in Emes, it's the same thing. Ich kann sein, I'm not... Eftrachten, it's punkt the same.
But a Klippers is not a Keli for everybody. One piece of that. Klippers are not a Klippers can be a Keli.
No, I don't know if it's good as this. It brings out the Ein Sof of the air in a deeper Eifin. This is all a word in air, that the Spashtus of the Kus is even an Eifin that the Mekabel is a Kedi for it. That he's even in a Mokum of Gvul. And Mitzadik Gvul. Yeah, ich weiß, ich darf trachten, it's mamish the... I'm saying it's hard to stand, ich weiß nicht. Tzrich Machshiv. I'm saying, Lepoil, this Indian you have in Gadliya, this word, that there is Mitzad the air and there is Mitzad the Tzimtzum. That the Tzimtzum Guf in Yan B'Shul HaGilut. And there the word is not the Memes Masculine, it's a different word over there. There's the Shleimus Ha'er. That the Tzimtzum is on the Shleimus Ha'er, that it can even be B'makam HaMekabel. That's the Lashon there from Gadliya. Good.
You're saying that God.
Yeah, at the end of the first beer.
Why is this part of the first beer and the Avalish Nisim Satzim again? Saying it's...
No, the Rebbe speaks, saying the beer of Lish, the first real Shnisi is because the Tachten is not to be smoking the Gabel. So it's side the Era Blikvol, the Era Gvol, the Gabel, the Era Blikvol. The Era Gvol is not to be smoking the Gabel, the Era Blikvol. And the Era Blikvol, the Gabel, the Etza.
How's that a parallel to Matan and
Tachten? No, I'm saying there's Ili Acher Ili. Each Slav is another Ili. There the Rebbe spoke 3 Elohim. I'm saying, that's Vashleim. They're...
So you're not necessarily parallel, you're just saying...
We'll have to see the Lashon later. He says, Al Derech Abor Lever is a lot of the Tachlis. It sounds like they were saying Al Derech, like we said before, Kach V'Kach, Al Derech Zahir is Kach V'Kach.
It's not really a beer in the... It's for the Arab legal. It's not really a beer in its heaven, but just...
Tzrich Mayin.